Hello and welcome. Yep, just set him going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start cultivate. Oh no, I need to be mulching. Now that is the point. Can this mulch the mulcher? I've got to investigate this because he's obviously an important integral part to this. But there are some things that are going to be nuts under rollers, Mr. Smith. You should know that. Is 60 horsepower. Wow, we know this thing has managed such things before. So it is not beyond the realms of possibility that this can. We want to be mulching first, though we get this bonus. We missed out a lot of bonuses last time. So let's not miss it this time. See, do we need. I imagine that. Is this a low? I can't imagine that. You would say. I was. It's true. I did. Let's dig the way up first. Ooh, what's that? Although not a massive one for attaching those cheaty ways when you get a little flicker. I'll give you that because it is a bit tricky. Right, let's go find the first spot. Some fold. We can follow down. So I don't think, we can just manage it. Ooh. Ah, do you know, seriously? Oh well. Right, I am going to go into time lapse for this though. Where did he start? Let's be methodical. There's no point in going like a bullet gate. That's your problem. Now this is very much like it has been done here. Right, okay then. I am going to say my points. I'm going to see you guys gals on the other side. Now this is a different one for me, I've got to be honest. I say I have mulched. That isn't classed as seedbed preparation, is it? So do I need to use the ploughing function of this to actually make this? Or can we cast seeds immediately? Because we need to investigate, because this is... I haven't got the weight. It does seem a little bit awful that you've got to switch on allow create fields for a thing where you haven't got to allow create fields. So I'm not going to do that. But we need to investigate this. This is a little bit of a... yeah. Let's let go. I don't think I can manage that without... wait. I'm sure I can't. I know it's lost a little bit of weight, but not a lot. It's just going to send me straight backwards. Is it good enough for me to just test on the edge of the field? I don't somehow think that is actually working. We can actually... oh, typical. It is right where... So what is the brown state then? It's mulched. So after mulching, you would just get it ready for seedbed preparation. And I thought that's exactly what we were doing with the arrow. It's bizarre. It doesn't need turning on. It just needs dropping. I dropped it. That isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Does it need ripping? Is it one of those that it needs... I've never seen a cultivator not cultivate. It's making the right animations. And it is making a change. It is, actually. That is definitely different this time. It wasn't doing that before. It didn't go dark. Right, okay. We're going to have to test this, though. Because I'm not... yeah, let me do like a strip that is 10 metres. In fact, no, 5 would have been enough. As long as I can see enough that this is actually working. That to me, I've seen that field state or that texture before, so I'm quite hopeful now. That was really... I wonder why it didn't actually do that the very first time. It didn't do the animation. That really did shake me a bit. Because obviously, yeah, you know your game, you know what you've got to do and all the rest of it. Right, how are we doing rolling? Nearly last row. Right, I'm going to set this going up with the work now. Yeah, I trust that. This did manage the rolling, it did, but was it good? Not really, no. But this is the very first year of us doing our work, so am I going to do that? Absolutely. And I'm also going to try and buy inputs that will suit this little tractor so that it isn't just going to be a glorified mascot. No, we know it'll never be a powerhouse, and I don't really care that it's not going to be a powerhouse, but I would like to keep it going. I do, yeah, I do stick by what I said. I've quite fallen in love with that. But like any little tractor, it has got to be treated with the respect it isn't. It's not a monster, it is, but it is still useful. Fantastic, right, so then. It's going to take a while for it to do that, though. That is true. Is there anything... we could go and clear up the shop front. It is a bit of a mess. With all those bits and bobs strewn across. And also, no, I already said this, I can't really bring anything across. It is sort of going to that common land. Is there any common land closer? Well, there is. We have got the side of the field. We have, that is true. We can stick the roller, that isn't taking a lot of room on though, so that we can do. The other thing is, I realised I was talking about making plans and sticking other things down, and we're doing grass. Wally that I am. Totally forgot. Yeah, I'd already said we were going to grass, but sorghum was just that first thing, wasn't it? Now, the other thing I'm going to say, look, we have got a job we could do. It's going to cost us more than I can afford. As I thought, can I afford to send the data? That is true. It's not that big a field. We're going to need, it costs us €20 every single month in costs. Now that's not a lot to get to January, February for selling the sorghum, where we will get a cash in. But it's true, I mean, yeah, you can, don't get me wrong, I do know a lot of farmers do live in the pockets of the bank with an overdraft. I would like to do this without doing that type of thing, if I'm honest. Yeah, it really would be my favourite saying. Terrible. Yes, I would. And we can do it, so... Right. Now, what I was going to say, why did I come here? I was going to do... I've flummoxed myself now. I did say I was going to tidy that up, so we're going to do a bit of pushing. Let's drop that a little lower to act as a... I've never tried to use a weight like that. Huh? Yeah? It'll please our friend that we are tidying up in the shop. Brilliant. That's definitely better than it was. Yeah, strewn in the middle of the car park. I can't see anybody allowed me to get away with that. Right, okay, so we've done that. Tick. Now then, what are we going to need now then? Remember this? That's it. I do know what it's going to call. Yeah. The second job I spoke about was scanning the fields. Now this is important because a lot of things hinge on this, so... Right, let's lease this, and 700 and something from having done this quite a few times. Was it 1,000? I'm second guessing myself now. But it has got to be done, it is true, and the date has got to be sent. So scanning this time as well has got to be done. 867. Okay, wait. He was in the middle of both of your guesstimates. Yeah. Right, let's grab that. Let's unfold it. We're going to do the scanning while our little tractor carries on with the cultivating. This is going to, I would imagine though, yeah, we may need to put a couple of contracts. In fact, let's have a quick look now at said things. Let's see if there are any seeding ones again. No, all harvesting. I'd rather not, if I'm honest. There may be a chance to, yeah. I'm surprised though, as I said, at the contracts that there are a variation. It's almost like the game's stuck on just the main sort of task, which would be I'm going to harvest today, and then if I've harvested I can cultivate. Whereas this should be, yeah, what happens then when a field has been planted? Any canola fields? Well, why aren't they being asked to be fertilised? What I want to know is why not a single seeding contract came out. Now then, let's see, is this going to be 2 width? Is that going to be the easiest way to handle it? It looks about right, actually. I think that's far out. It's going to be a line of 2 going down the field. We're going to have little tiny bubbles missing at the side, but that's not the end of the world. Right. She's doing a cracking job. Yeah, there's going to be little tiny. I've never been a massive. I'm not really worried that much about this. I know some people get a bit. Right, I can go sideways a little bit more. That's about right. Has to be that little tiny overlap, otherwise you get lots of like little circle things missing. Still not quite on the edge right, although it doesn't really matter, there is a bit of an overlap if I'm honest, so. Right, it's about there. It's going to be 3. I can't remember how much this is. 100 per sample? Can't remember now. It's not that much, but it is, in our predicament, it is quite a lot. Anything is quite a lot in our predicament. Still, we have, as I said, we've got a fighting chance. I knew this was going to be a battle. You should never do what I did, but then again, I was expecting more contracts to drop that we would have done to compensate for how bad things are, but they didn't. I am still very glad that we've gone into our own farming now. It does make a massive difference, especially on a map where, yeah, there are no grass contracts or there's certain bits missing that are usually acceptable in most maps. I think that was the thing that I loved about the old stream farm. I loved the fact, because there hadn't been any Beyleron contracts on Haut Beyleron. I can't remember Elm Creek. I think Elm Creek did have more. I think it was one. I'm sure it beat this on that. At least we can fertilise now. That's going to give us a big boost. That I do like. 2 more. Yes. And then we'll get the hits for doing all the scans. Quickly run this back. We will run this back as well. I'm not going to call the shot with this. Yeah. Have we got... have we got fertiliser or lime in that? I think no, we haven't got any lime. Right. Let's fold that away. Let's take that and let's wait for our results to come back. Let's go in a little. I feel a little bit small. You don't get the details to your tractors when you're out that far, which is a shame because they are absolutely beautiful, really are. Well, yeah, if you like engineering and vehicles and stuff like that, of course. Not everybody would agree. Right, okay, let's drop that off and say we dropped it off. Okey-doke. Let's give them a shout. We don't want any additional costs, although I think we've probably been less than 10 minutes, so we'll drop that and drop it nicely. Oh, no. That's it. Always just little skips when you've got a weight on. Let's return you. Yes, fantastic. Now then, when are we going to get hit for our costs? Let's have a look at the precision farming tab. Oh, we've already been hit for it. Oh, it is a bad field. Oh, it is worse soil type with a tiny bit of. Still, it was very reasonable. Yeah, it's usually starting the other way around where we've chosen a low field, which is on this one not something that I even contemplated. Because this one really represents a much bigger field than we could have bought had, yeah, pound for pound. We've already seen that this field is actually the same as the one to the right. Field 35, actually the field size. Obviously not as in its natural form. So, of course you can't go. This is a beggars can't be choosers. Will we stay here forever? Well, we have got routes down here now. That doesn't mean to say we can't start to go for the fields across the bridge. They are, I would like that. But we may do this strip to follow this down for now. The next field as well. That may well be an option. Now then, I'll put this sideways, as I said before, so that whoever needs it can grab it. Let's drop it, not from a great height as well. Right, okay then, so we now have we need to plant our grass. Now, moment of truth, shall we? I think I'll do this manually. So I shouldn't really need to wait for myself. Now, can this seed looks such a weird view? Right, that's doing a bit of a wobble. Now then, I suppose now we want grass. Nope, lucid radish. Grass. Can we? Will it allow us to do this? It looks like it to me. You're getting the... Well, let's have a look. Does it say grass is being... It does. Smash it. Okay, so we can do it. Right, well, we're going to be careful because I think we're going to pretty much in one thing catch up with the cultivator, so... Nearly, very nearly. Let's get this done. Get this first section done. And then, yeah, then we've got the fertiliser, haven't we? Yeah, we need to finish this off, and also, yeah, these little swishers we're going to have to come and do a bit of tidy up work, because this is not going to be perfect, not with these little tiny triangles. I hate grass fields having bits in them and bits missing and stuff like that. It drives me crazy. Not so bad in a crop type, but grass, I don't know what it is about grass. It just drives me crazy when you see all those brown bits on the side if you've not done it well and things like that. Right. I think that's about the limit of what we can do right now. Yeah, we'll do these little top-up bits. Should we fertilise this run? It's not going to hurt, is it? The more jobs we get done now, the better. Right, okay. I would zoom out, but ooh, I need to change the configuration. Now, do I? Can I manage with the stuff on the back? I think I can. Yes. Ooh, right there. Ooh, wow. I was going to say, is that there? It's not really, wasn't there, little tractors? I've never seen this do this before. It's on auto. No, it's not. Now why? So it's not just courseplay, or did I? Or did I use a normal? Right. Okay. Let's try that again. That's better. So still way too big. It's going to do this for grass, isn't it? Which is good. If we're hovering over that, it'll give you the same application. Oh, it won't. No, it's not. It's only doing that on the left. It's taking the thing for it all, but it's not actually applying it evenly. So I think we will wait. No point in wasting time. No, we're trying to improve things when really you're not. Right, that's the discs of this side, so that means it's got to be that side. Right, okay then. No, I didn't do that. I did. It's not far off. Don't want any missing bits. I'd soon have a bit of an overlap and a missing patch. Don't think we can quite do a second. I don't know, it's going to be close. It's not yet. Doesn't matter that it's not perfect. Just as long as we get as much done and don't waste effort with doing little tiny bits that you can't quite do right. I don't mind. Right. Oh, yeah, that's a wall. That is a wall. Let's drop that down. Now that's worth fertilising that strip now. Definitely. It's nice this is to work on your own field. 1692. Do you know, I can't remember Let's Play where I've cut it quite this close. But then, as I say, it is you're sort of at the whim of the contracts to a degree. Right, I should be able to do that by flipping down. It's about there, that's central. I should do one strip all the way down. Oh, that's it, it is. I was about to say then, why is the animation not doing that? But it is now. That's about right. I often use the little mini-map to see that I'm in or out, because I'm trying to be more down like this, and the only way you can do that is if you use your mini-map feature, because you can see if you're coming out. Right, that's brilliant. I think we shall follow that. We'll let her finish the row, and then we're going to take her and just do these corners. Thank you very much, young lady, for your assistance. So we will just get these corners done. Now, I'm going to lift it. I'm not just going to. No, it's like, no. It's silly. It's going to be more impractical, and I know it's going to do a slight amount of damage. Oh, it's just a corner switch. I don't want that either. Brilliant. The same on this side. And then we need to plant, which we will do with this very tractor. It's the only thing that gets me about all the different field animations, all the different sort of states, which it's weird how it's different for each particular one, when really they've had the same thing done. Right, let's go to the bottom end. Is that a mist patch? Looks like it to me. This is actually, I think that's the last run that she had to do. We should set that going, don't we? Yeah. No, I prefer this to do the sowing now that it's almost free. I'll grab the big tractor to just, yeah, do that nice little row with this. And, yeah, they're a bit weird marks. Starting that point, so we should need to do that. Yes, I can't recall a time when I've been this low. Of course, I've got not any generators, and we are managing okay. But obviously, it is something I would like to bring in, and this is why. It's not for the high end. I've never. Yes, I have tongue-in-cheek had some of the really good generators at the beginning of a Let's Play. If I go for my, let's give it a year or 6 months to get a little bit of income to start off, but don't. That's to help play balance, nothing more. Right, let's fold that way. Oh no. But, you know, actually, let's just do this. Yeah. By the time we've faffed around, we may as well have done it. It's the last one. It's just time patch there. We have to clean up as well. I think that line to the left of us, I think that's a missed section, which I don't know how it got missed, but probably the field is perfect. So that's the line that got away, but we'll grab it while we're out here. I don't want any horribleness to this field. I'd sooner have a bit more work to do and it be done properly, but not to be done. Right, let's put it on the edge though, so to ripping that up. Yeah, it was, but it did get missed. Smash it now, we can fold it away. Oh, no, actually I see something else. There's a little tiny patch that I missed there. Instead I'd have to come back for it. Right, now we can fold it all away. Stick this on the corner. This is very small implement. Now then. Wait. Side as well. Perfect. Yes, it is quite nice having such a lowness, because if it was a normal small tractor, it would go up higher. It's just it physically can't. It's actually at the point where it is floating a little, but luckily it's given us a bit of traction, so we are quite fortunate that it is built like this. Right, let's try and... No, that's definitely plantings there, seeded even. Right. Remember those corner swishes everywhere. Do a little bit of overlap, I think. Yeah, let's do this corner bit to the left. Nope, there's a bit that's been missed here. Because we've already done this, really, this is just tidy up work. I think that's one patch that's been missed. Can have one little patch. I might put up a lot of grass, I think it grows. Just that it's a little bit tied in the two corners. We shall have a look on the map for some shell. I'm not going to take any chances. Right. Should be the last bit. Now then, are we going to be able to herbicide? I don't think we are this year. No, I don't think we can even afford a single tub of herbicide. Let's have a look then, and we want normal, and it's so there are some yellow. Oh, they're stones. That's not too bad. And we want grass. Switch the grass off, and that looks pretty good to me. It does. I still don't understand why grass has to be treated so differently. Why it can't be in standard crop types, but it is what it is. There must be a reason for it. Oh, no, that's not what to do. Right, are we going to do this? We're going to do this manually. Come on, because it's not like, yeah, awful, is it? You can see on that minimap where we need to go, so let's get this done. Then we need to lime it. Yeah, maximum, because that also is a decent bonus that we really don't want to. Can we afford it? Do you know, it is true. Fertiliser's the biggest particular thing, and weeding, but the weeding we have there's no implement we can afford for 1,678 for weeding. But could you lease a weeder, a mechanical one? That is a possibility. Yes, no, it's weird how the animations throw you out, because I know I've already done those strips, but actually it's still classed as done. Yeah, you can see it's not gone back, it's not lost it, it's just lost the animation when I went over with the cultivator. It's not lost the nitrogen, really. It's weird how your eyes can deceive you. I remember the worst case I've ever seen of that is on Lone Oak, where those free fields around the edge had the look that they were ploughed. The look. But that was all. It was only a look. It foxed me something chronic when I could see the animation that was telling me that the fields were ploughed. They weren't. It was just the look. It was amazing. It took me literally sort of, it was the next session I think, and I thought, is it? And I thought, well, let's just try and put the plough down, and bang, it did the same state on it. But like, was it the cultivator? It was something like that anyway. It was quite amazing. Right, let's stick that back. I'm still very small. Right. That actually doesn't say. Yeah, pH is bad. We know that. Crop rotation is good. Yes, I have got that on. So it's now going to be grass for a while. So yeah, we're not really going to be ripping it up. Now that's the point. Does the crop rotation treat grass like it goes into a worse state the year after, which means you'd have to rip it up and put something else in its place? I didn't think of that, so we shall have to see. So it is 105%. Now, why only good? Why is that not 120? Because this had cereal last time. Strange. Yeah, I switched it on because I thought it about time to try to bring in as much realism as possible. So right, we've planted our grass. August. So there's nothing more we can actually do except for look to see if there are any more contracts. I'm going to look each morning. I'm not speeding through the day. I think let's do one more. No, nobody wants to do any sowing. Let's hope that they do in September then. Right, so that's all that we can do. Just trying to think if I missed anything. We don't need to roll grass. They've got the mod on that doesn't. What in grass is one of those you don't need to roll. So I'm happy with that. So let's. We have a sleep trigger right here. Yes, I know it's a little bit tricky to get into, but I'm sure. Let's go for the realism. If we can get up the steps. No, we'll make the switch to 9 o'clock, I think. Are we going to tease ourselves with what we can't afford in the sales? Well, but you don't know. It could be some sowing contracts. I'm not doing our grass until it's third growth stage. Will we get a cut in this year? October. I don't like cutting in November, but this is a special. Yeah, it is. This is a special time. Although we've not got a front mower, unless we do a bit of contract work, we aren't going to be able to. Fantastic. Now then, this puts a different complexion on things, does it not? We will indeed accept you. Oh wow, how did that? And we will. Oh, which one was that? Field 36. That's down here, so 37 is a good one to go for. As is 42. 8 and 22 are at the top. Okay, right. Now then, is this the point to change our configuration to the bigger tractor? This is about making money, and yeah, I think if we put the Samurai on the front, we will in time when we can afford it, which will not be that long now. Did we just set our... No, this is more about expediency, isn't it now? Just leave it on it. Right. Yeah, this time this is our main function, is to do this particular job. So yeah, I think Samurai, when we can afford it, we will. Is that way? Oh, it's this way. Yeah. For storage, we're going to stick the samurai in the front, and I think we will stick it in the configuration, Scott. Actually, no, it's a 3-point. Ah, yeah, but you've got no way of grabbing it at the minute, which would mean you've got to switch twice. I can't be bothered to do that. Which is why we really need something at the farm. Now then, I do believe it was barley. On one of them at least. We'll check this. Not. Oh, please tell me that they are all crops that I can. Yeah, they are. It's wheat and barley is the only things in September, isn't it? That you can. It is just those two, so you can definitely do both. Right, swizzle this over. Right, actually, I'm going to save this for next session. I am. Yeah, I'm going to say my words. Yes, this is going to be the start of the next session. This has been quite a long one, so yeah, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I truly do hope that you stick with me on this journey. I'm quite enjoying this. It's not been like it's not gone easy. It hasn't, but I'm quite chuffed. It's been a bit of a battle, but we're getting there. Yeah, this is a battle that's beginning to go the other way now. I've got hope, whereas it was looking a little bit bleak when those contracts were dropping. I was like really thinking, oh, right, oh, smashing. That's gone. Let's grab one of the other ones. Yeah, that's no. Oh no, there's a bit of both. Can we get close enough? Can we push them backwards a little? Right, okay. Ah, of course the Rosenstein has got fertiliser in it, so we need to stick that in the silo, so that's perfect. And then we will grab some more seeds. In time we want to bring that, although to be honest I think we'll have probably used almost all of the seeds in these contracts. Good job we did have a little bit on hand actually, because we would have been cutting it very close to buy the seeds. Sorry, I was just thinking then. This is a lead in from the last session, and I wasn't sure if I'd finished saying goodbye. Yeah, now then. That's it. Simple as that. It's my morning alarm. Let's refold that up. Yes, I've not yet used this as a... Have I done something to that? Yes, I have. It's not flat. Yeah, we've yet to use this as a proper shovel bucket. Bucket, that's the word I was looking for. Bucket. This is grass. You're allowed to go on it. Yeah, there's a few little tiny bits that drive me crazy. Right, seeds. Let's go grab that. And then I'm going to pick this up from the next session. Yeah, I just wanted to record this little bit while we were doing this. It's a bit messy. I don't like doing that. I like to separate the recordings. But yeah, it's just from a tag over from the previous session. Then next session we're going to get these seeding contracts done that we took last session. Right, let's keep on working on the same seeds. Have we got enough? Now then, the other thing is we do need to, yeah, sort of separate it, don't we? We're going to be filling with fertiliser again. Ooh, it does that a little bit too much. Now then. Well, we could be clever and grab the big bag winch and grab it and separate it. would work. And let's drop that. Wow, it's amazing at that. Right, now that is better. Yeah, these bags are a little... These came with this pack, I think. We know the lorry we've got. I'm sure this is from that pack. They do seem a little unstable at the minute, but it is, I suppose, it was only released last week, so... But it is sort of playing with my head a bit, because it's... Yeah, obviously you can drive through them, but they're not liking the... Right, I'm going to need the other one, which I think... Got any more of these over there? Yeah, they are. See the icons. I have to get used to looking at these because I think we'll be using these quite a bit if we're going to try to. Yeah, don't think we're going to quite fill this, are we? Oh no, these are 1,005, aren't they? 1,500 per one. Not 1,000, so. Smashing. Excellent. Oh. Right, while we're this close, let's grab some fuel. It does seem sensible. And we shall take this for myself. Let's grab a look at the flashing icons, and we shall leave myself at the closest field, which is across the very road. Are we going to courseplay this? No. Next time we will do this ourselves, definitely. And then this one right next to... No, actually it's 36. Oh my life, it's the right big one. Wow, they're quite close. 37, 42, 36. I think we're going to need more seeds. I didn't realise how big these were. I should have done by the cost, but... Let's just lift that up a little as well. You have to have this selected. Now, most builds, you can actually lift your front loader. Now, I do need it tilted, but I want it to be as realistic as possible where the seeds wouldn't tip out, because the centre of gravity is going to be quite bad if I had that perfectly flat and far forwards. So, and that is where we're going to leave it. It is. I'm not going to say goodbye, because the future me will take over from this point. So, yes, I'm going to say I will see you shortly.